during my stay in Marseille, I have been able to attend to programs at IHP in Paris, to give a couple of colloquiums in Dijon, Strasbourg, and a couple of other places, to give talks in Lyon. And all this was achievable through some TGV rides. So in a sense, not only have I been able to do great things in Marseille, but I have also been able to do to connect with many researchers in France and Europe. And I think that so these long programs also hopefully will carry a message from now on that rather than just short conferences of a few days where we fly thousands of kilometers for just a few days, it's maybe better and more important to do better research, to get as much as possible from one trip. So again, the great flexibility of Cirm, and as far as I understand, its dedication through many programs to encouraging longer stays from people who come from far away are definitely going in the right sense of history, in my opinion, and I hope that this leadership of Cirm will continue setting an example in the world. I'm a professor at Kyoto University in Japan. I've arrived in Kyoto 10 years ago, but I have been in Kyoto for the first time 20 years ago. I was a postdoc in Kyoto, and I spent 3 years there. So I spent altogether in Japan, including 2 visiting professorships, 12 or 13 years. And before that, I was a student here in France. My research area has evolved over time, but I would say there was a leitmotiv. I've always been very interested in symmetries, in the notion of what it is to pick a symmetry at random. For example, if you throw a dice at random, or if you take a random direction, what does it mean? So it's one of the most natural probability measure, and the notion of symmetries is related to that of group. So on something which is called a compact group, there exists a unique invariant probability measure. Many of these groups live in matrix algebras, and I've been very interested in trying to compute integrals with respect to these functions, to these random variables. And so I've developed something which is called a Weingarten calculus, which could be broadly seen as a part of random matrix theory. So I would say that I'm primarily interested in random matrix theory and many of its ramifications. So to operator algebra and a field which is called free probability on the one hand, but also to representation theory, and in particular asymptotic representation theory. And I have also looked into quite a few applications over the years. So in the last 10-15 years, I've been working quite a bit on the applications of random matrix theory to quantum information theory, and also to more recently, I've been interested in random graphs, and I'm trying to understand a little bit some relations with other areas of mathematics, such as geometry. And I'm also trying to understand things about relations with artificial intelligence lately. I didn't really know about the existence of the chair Jean Morlet until my colleague Nizar DEMNI, who in Marseille mentioned this program to me. He explained me a little bit the concept. So I was already in Kyoto at that time, and I found it very interesting. And the truth is that as a French person who is expatriate, I was very interested in spending some amount of time in France. And I think that we had this discussion for the first time with Nizar at the time when a plan to spend a sabbatical in France in Lyon had collapsed due to COVID, due to the lockdown of COVID. So I was supposed to spend 1 year in Lyon. This was cancelled. Nizar, I think, was not aware of that, and he told me, should we apply? So there was a little bit of, to some extent, a revenge aspect. To me, I wanted to spend some time in France. The concepts were quite different. In Lyon, it would have been a plain sabbatical in a sense, and here there were some more responsibilities and more perks in the meantime. So I have also to mention that I have known Nizar for quite a long time, but I have had in the last 8 or 9 years a very sustained collaboration with Charles Bordenave, who is also in Marseille. So I was very excited at the possibility to go to Marseille for both these scientific reasons from the point of view of my research. I should also add that as a researcher, I have been many times at workshops in Lumini, and this is a place which I really like a lot. So the possibility of spending time there and organizing events there, which I had never done before, looked very attractive to me. So then I basically I let Nizar guide me, and we just went through the application procedure until it was fortunately accepted. Right. So the scientific contents of our semester, as per the application, was broadly speaking random matrix theory with a component in representation theory and quantum information theory. So this is how things were described, and indeed the summer school had to do with quantum information theory. We met with many young researchers, both from the mathematics side and the physics side, who were interested in the mathematics of quantum information theory. The Weingarten calculus, which is this calculus which we developed with many co-authors to compute integrals over random matrices, involves quite a bit of representation theory. So these algebraic aspects of probability have also been covered in research in pairs, and also in the main conference, which was about random matrix theory. And then, as it's often the case in mathematics, one never, like, if things were exactly as we had applied for them, this would maybe be less exciting. And a couple of, so we try to be a bit speculative, following somehow our most recent research projects and the recent research trends that we were looking at. And we, the last workshop was actually about the connections between random matrix theory, random graphs, and geometry, in particular random geometry, and this has allowed to put together many people with interest in each other's techniques from various areas. I would also like to add that we also had a small workshop about relation with artificial intelligence and machine learning, for which they started to use recently lots of random matrix theory as well. So this geometry aspects, random graph aspects, and artificial intelligence aspects were actually somehow more adapted on the fly after the big lines of the program had been decided. I would say that we had many great guests from all over Marseille, France, and the world who came here and attended and contributed. So rather than naming some specific person, I think that what is nice and important was that we had really people from extremely various areas of mathematics who would not talk with each other in a natural setup, who got to learn from each other's mathematics in the meetings which we organized, and I think that this was really very, very nice. Also, something which I would like to point out, even though I would consider myself as maybe as a mid-career mathematician, a bit, maybe 20 years after starting my career, and within 20 years of retirement in normal standards, so half career, we remarked together with the co-organizers of the last conference that who are more or less the same age as me, that actually most participants of the last meeting, perhaps everybody except 4 or 5 people, were younger than us. And I think this was very impressive in the sense because this was an interdisciplinary meeting, and there were all these graduate students, postdocs, young researchers, and including many rising stars, and all that who were all together. So it was very exciting to see that the next generation is being revealed here, and that this is really an extremely lively area. So there were also some very senior people, but these breadths in the spectrum of advancements of career was really impressive to me, and I also appreciated a lot the fact that people from all over the world were coming. That was very nice as well, in my opinion. So yes, I would definitely say that I reached my goals. Again, I think that that reaching one's goals in mathematics means being surprised somehow. So going beyond one's goals. So from a personal point of view, I continued doing a very interesting research with Charles Bordenave, and we were still continuing our research program. I was happy to see that many young people who came to the research in pairs created some new collaborations, including people from Japan and from France. So as a French person in Japan, this that matters quite a bit to me. One of our goals, especially when we crafted the last conference, was to get people from geometry and probability and random matrices to talk together. And in view of the feedback that we received, I think this was a very big, frank success. So we are very happy about that part as well. I saw many graduate students or young researchers from abroad being very inspired by the conferences. So I'm also very happy about that part. And I had numerous discussions with Hachem Kadri, with whom we are co-organized one small workshop in September about random matrices and artificial intelligence, and we have continued working together during the and parts of our discussion also with Charles Bordenave while it was here, and I think it's so I think I understand better the applications of random matrix theory to artificial intelligence thanks to our discussions. I'm very happy about that. Some of this he also explained me what is the relation between artificial intelligence and quantum theory, which was also enlightening for me as I had spent lots of time in quantum information theory. So for all these personal reasons, but also viewing all these collaborations between other participants which were created, I think it was a frank success. So I think that the Jean Morlet chair is quite a unique format in the sense that I know it. So, for example, there are many research centers in mathematics in the world, like RIMS, where I come from in Kyoto, but also Oberwolfach or PIMS or CMS or CRM, sorry, a couple of places like that, where there are some research meetings where researchers gather for 1 week, or sometimes for a handful of researchers gather for 1 month or 3 months, and then there are 1 or 2 conferences. Here we have 6 whole months where there is one chair holder, which I was honored to be, which can try to set some directions with the help of the chair co-holders for the community. So both to get an overview of the recent achievements of the recent years in the area, but also to try to, as we did, to do some speculation or engage in new directions. And so I think that this format does not exist, as far as I can tell, in other mathematics research centers. It's very unique. So, of course, we cannot always say that which one is better, but somehow its originality, I think, matters a lot in the sense that we can do things here which we cannot do in other research centers, and having various formats is always a good way to optimize the research output. So from this point of view, I would say that we tried our best to get the best out of this share for our community, and I see that it went very well, and I believe that the share Jean Morlet can do the same for every chair which is being held in any area of mathematics. Holding this Jean Morlet chair has been an extremely rewarding experience. First of all, I think that the location is wonderful. The location inside the Calanque, and this tradition that one has to connect not only through mathematics but through going on a hike, and if the weather allows to swim on Wednesday afternoons. This is something which connects mathematicians, and we should not just attending meetings together is not enough to do good research, I think. So it's really important to have such additional chances to connect, and I think that Lumini and Cirm is a perfect place for that reason, not only because of its location, but also because of its wonderful restaurant, because of its wonderful staff, because of everybody being very friendly. Also, I can say personally, because thanks to everybody being extremely flexible, because the rules in Japan and in France are not the same, but CNRS, Lumini has been able to solve many problems to make research happen. So I think that Marseille and the University of Marseille is extremely lucky to have such a site. And as a French person, I know that whenever a French mathematician is invited to go to Cirm, they would be extremely enthusiastic and very happy to go there. So it's very easy to get wonderful people to participate in meetings. People are always in the good mood for doing research, and the word has spread also beyond the borders, and there are many people from all over the world who are very happy to come here. Probably the bouillabaisse dinner and the conferences as well on Thursday evening is also a highlight, a bit like the hikes of the Wednesday afternoons. And I would also like to add something personal, which was a little bit, which I was not aware of before starting the share, which I had not anticipated, is the program of Les Cigales, which is a program which, as far as I understand, takes place twice a year during the spring break and the fall break, where female students from high school have a 1 week camp at Cirm, along with conference participants, where they get to do some real mathematical science with some more experienced mathematicians. So I was fortunate to be one of these tutors who could engage into research project with them, and it was very refreshing and rewarding to see all these young ladies who were so enthusiastic about doing mathematics. I think it was an extremely very good. It was really great to do it in such an environment where actual research takes place and where the next generation can connect to it. So I was very happy as a shareholder to participate in that event, which looks very important to me. All the more as these various balance problems, gender balance problems, but also quite a few other questions of minorities are acute not only in France but also in Japan. So even though I am from France, I could learn a lot in these respects as well from my stay in Lumini, and more generally as a French expatriate. I was very happy that it was possible to create some more relations between researchers from France and from Japan, and I would even say slightly broader than Japan, because I had many visitors from Asia, more like West-East mathematical interactions.